I wish my son was not there when it happened. I wish my son was not. You know what I would give for me to have my husband with me? You're with your husband and your kids. Your gist. Have I not heard that your husband ran away from you since you were pregnant with Mo? Have I not heard this? Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Tolu, and of course this is Tolu Bands. Oh my god, I have been trying so hard to get like a good setup for this video, but it's been an issue. I have a really nice setup here, but the lighting is bad. The background here is chaotic, but the lighting is way better. So like I'm so tired. Okay, so guys, this is still Tolu Bands, not Taribo West, not crisscross, not a teenage boy, according to my son, because I know the hair is giving all of those, but we are not going to concentrate on that. We are not going to concentrate on anything outside of Tolubans, right? Hey guys, so this is a story time I put up on my IG. If you're not following me on IG, go and follow. It's Tolubans without the S. About my worst experience working as a Nigerian makeup artist. And I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna get my makeup done and just give my people the tea. Just give them the gist like of what happened. I literally was assaulted by the groom's father. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. Like, I've experienced some shit in my life. Sorry, I've experienced some things in my life that they sound so unbelievable. Like, when I think about them now, where I am right now, and those things, it seems like they just look like a mirage. Like, did this really happen to me? But at the end of the day, part of progressing, part of moving on in life is accepting what happened and then looking forward to the future. So in a bid to do that, I'm putting this out here because I haven't talked about it anywhere. Like, anyway, only people close to me knew about it because it happened last year before I came to Canada, and it was a really terrible time. So I've done my eyebrows, so I will get into the skin. You see me looking down here, I have a mirror set up here. There was this friend of mine. I had been doing her makeup for a very long time. In fact, when I first learned makeup, it was her face. She was one of the people that I used her face to practice a lot. So she had a friend that wanted to get married, and she introduced us and was like, okay, Tolu, we do you good makeup, blah blah blah, please patronize my friend, all of that good stuff, which I was really really grateful to her for that. So fast forward to the makeup day. I traveled from Ibadan to Ilori. The place was the wedding was taking place at Kwara State, so I traveled down there and it was a day wedding, so I went a day before, a night before. So I just slept, woke up the following morning, we did makeup. The trad was taking place first. Let me let me get my foundation going. The trad was taking place first, so we woke up very early, got the bride, our bridesmaid ready, and it was like good vibes. Everybody was just having fun. It was really really nice. So I did the bride's makeup in the morning, and she went for the what's it called, she went for the trad, and I stayed back at the hotel, or the house they used. It was a family friend's house that they used. So I stayed back, had my bath, waiting for the bride to come back. So before the bride left, I put some of my makeup things, my lights. I had 2 ring lights there. And those ring lights, yeah, the first one, I bought it when ring light first came out. I was like 100K that time. I think I bought mine for like 70K that time. And then I had a new one that I bought. I just packed everything, put it in the car that was taking the bride to the venue, thinking I was going to like follow them because the bride wasn't coming back to change for the white wedding. But later they changed their mind that, oh, she would come back to change, then do touch up for a reception. That was the deal. I put the lights, the two lights in a car, of which it was my friend who introduced the bride to me that carried the box with the ring lights, that went to put them in the car. When they came back after the engagement, I quickly did change of makeup for the bride, and she went for church wedding, and I still stayed back. I stayed back, and I told them that, okay, once the church wedding is over, because as much as possible, I always like to leave that space of, I'm not here for your event, I'm here to work whenever I go for a job like that. Because there is a thin line, especially when they're still owing me balance. We can be vibing, we can be doing all of that good stuff, but you're not going to, because, oh, we vibed, you ate my food or whatever, now say, oh, let me send you your balance later. It's not possible. It's not. I'll take a bolt and come meet you at the reception ground. So I'll do the touch up, get my stuff, and be on my way back to Ibadan, because I had another job starting the following morning. So it was very important for me to like leave Ilori that day so that I could meet up with this other job. So I was called, like, oh, it's time, oh, come to the reception ground, the bride is here, we are waiting for you to come and do the touch up. By the time I got to the bride, I saw that her makeup was looking scattered. I was like, what happened? When you went for trad that is usually more energetic, because you are dancing, you are doing this, you are doing that, kneeling down everywhere. Your makeup came back like it was super fresh. Of that, what happened? How come your makeup is now looking like it went to war? She was like, that's our in-laws that they were abusing now, or something like that she fought with them, oh, blah blah blah. I was like, on your wedding day, you could not even just shut your mouth and have a nice day and know that you are never seeing these people until whatever. I did a touch up, did gilly for some people, it was just good. And then after I finished, I was waiting for her to do my transfer for me. And then she was just nowhere to be found. I was like, okay. My friend now came to meet me, the one that introduced us. I was like, see, Tolu, for sure you're going to get your money, but just so that you won't be late for your other job in IB, just be going, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, no problem. I'm taking your word for it. I was prepared to leave, and then I remembered, oh, my ring light. And I called that my friend that came to tell me that I should be going, blah 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 blah. And I told her, my ring lights, which of the cars did you put it? Because she was also the bride's best friend, so she was also everywhere. Okay, just tell me which car you put it, and I'll go and get it from there. That was how they started looking for ring light that is not pin. They were still looking for it. They checked all the cars, they checked everywhere. They did not see my ring light. I think there was another makeup artist there that happened to be like a family friend or whatever. So in my head, I'm like, 2 ring light, that's like almost 120k. Like, I can't leave here until I get my ring light. And she was already freaking out, like, well, I'm so sure that I put it here. And then every other person in the car, she was telling them, like, didn't you see me when I came to? Everybody was just doing bang. I said, okay, where are the other possible places that it could be? And they were like, oh, maybe when they went to change, they dropped it at the husband's hotel. Okay, there was this friend of ours who was there as well. I just begged him, please, can you take me to this place that they are described? Let them continue with the party. Let me be looking for the ring light. Went to their house, no sign of ring lights. Checked all the, in fact, we almost checked all the cars in the reception area. And all the while, like, they had already told, the bride came out, and then and she was like, Tolu, you've not gone. I was like, yeah, number one, you've not given me you've not settled me. Number two, our friend dropped my ring lights in your car when you were leaving, and we can't find the ring light again. She was just like, ah, really? She stopped, she stopped. She was inside a car with her husband. They were already leaving because apparently she was also traveling that same day. So they were already leaving, and the car in front of them was our father-in-law and our brother-in-laws and all of that. And she was not like, she just thought, she was like, ah, okay, maybe they left it somewhere else. So I was not like, please, can you call whoever it is that is there? Like, I have to get to Ibadan today because I have another job. Like, I cannot even, it wasn't even a makeup job. It was like my acting gig thingy. So I could not even, like, it was with UNESCO. The money was like way better than what I came to collect here. So she was like, oh, let her call somebody. Okay, she brought out her phone. Ah, my phone is dead though, blah blah blah. I said, ah, okay, what type of charger are you using? She said blah 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 charger. Okay, let me go and look for charger. Like, I was very patient and get like, so I was still like giving that grace, like, okay, blah blah blah. Of which, whenever in Nigeria, like, whenever I had a client, I will send you, once we have our deal is sealed, we've done like verbal offer, blah blah blah, I usually send you a what's this thing called, a letter of agreement. And in my letter of agreement, I'll tell you, like, this is the number of people that should be in your room when you are getting married, when you are doing your makeup. Because distraction, anybody can take my thing. If any of my thing gets missing or gets spoiled, the bride, you that you booked me, you are liable to pay me 80% of the price. So everything is already, I have an agreement. So maybe that was why she now tried to like just call or whatever. She was just so lackadaisical about it, and I was getting really pissed. So as we were talking now, that was how God, I don't even want to talk about this, gosh. That was how our father-in-law just got down from the car that he was in. He just got down, was like, was speaking Yoruba. Like, what's causing all the delay? We are looking for my ring light because I gave it to the bride and we can't find it again. What would be his response? Is it the bride that is supposed to be taking care of your own tools for you? I said, please, sir, don't say that. Don't say that because you don't even know what happened. How can you just come and you are judging the situation like this? Before I knew it, this man just dragged me, gave me dirty slap. I was like, what? As he did that, I just dragged his clothes. I raised my hand like I wanted to hit him like this, but God, I just stopped, like, this is just wrong. Like, I can't do that. Do you understand? As I just dropped my hand, I was like, why would you slap me? Why would you slap me? That I said like this. That was how, like, 2, 3. I said 2, 3. Like, I cannot even count. Like, 5, 10 people pounced on me. Probably they came from inside the car that he was in, or I don't even know how they came. All I knew was, like, I was pushed into a ditch, and everybody there who happened to be the grooms, be on the groom side, everybody was hitting me with anything they could find their hand on. And there was a woman amongst them, like, she was shouting, you dare beat my brother, you dare beat. I wish I could, there's a Yoruba translator here, because it's sweeter in Yoruba where you hear it. Onegbon mi, kiniko. She went to carry big stick hitting me. Oh God, this is like crazy. Like, it's almost like unbelievable that kind of thing could happen in a place where there is a government. Like even, let's even leave the government, like the fact that you are human. Like, you are human, this other person that you are meeting this thing on is human, and you can just basically do this. Like, everybody was just doing whatever. Thank God for this my what's it called, my classmates that was there. He was trying to get in the middle of everything. They pushed him back. They were just like, it was almost like a devil entered them, because it was It was like a lion trying to eat a hyena, busy an hyena. Like it was like, and it's not that I'm fat. Oh, if you knew me back then, I mean, as at last year, I was like really thin. I was really like, imagine 10 people, like all men, with one woman hitting me like that. Like they were not even scared that what if this girl dies? Immediately this happened. Do you now know what busted my brain? Bride. I saw her. She was still in the car. She did not raise her voice. She did not lift a finger. She did not do anything. She was just there, like, oh, whatever. Do you understand? Like people came from, like, even security men, they stood up like, what kind of thing is this? Like, are you guys not thinking you came here to do a wedding? You are beating makeup artist. So oh my god, this is so embarrassing to even talk about. Like, the way I'm talking about it, I feel embarrassed. Like, whenever things happen to me like that, I'm always like, it's just embarrassing. Like, things like this, like, it's super embarrassing. Finally, my friend was able to, like, just push me out of the bunch of whatever, and then took me to his car. Like, I was crying, my face was swollen, my body was swollen. Like, there was, like, it was just crazy. And then it just drove out of the compound. It was just like, Tolu, don't call anybody, leave them, God is going to judge, blah blah blah. I said, and this one, hey, God is going to judge, but I'm going to also meet my own meet my own judgment on them, because you don't treat other people like this. So later, this my friend now said, you know what, you can't go to Ibadan like this. Just, I'll look for a hotel for you. Just stay there, and tomorrow morning, very early in the morning, you will go back to Ibadan. And then I was like, okay, no problem. We're still, he literally just drove out of there. He didn't even know where he was going. Like, that was how someone just called me. Tolu, we've seen the ring lights. We should come back to the compound to come and collect the ring lights. So we got into the compound, and by this time I saw my friend, the one I knew that introduced me to the bride. She was crying. I can never forget this thing. Like, she was crying. Like, she could not even look at me, because I could feel her at that moment. She was crying. Her friends that she brought, that we were all gisting together the night before, they were all crying. Everybody was crying. You think that someone actually died. And I now saw the bride's mom. She knelt, old woman like this, so she knelt down. I was like, see, don't bother to kneel down. This marriage that I just did is going to scatter. And I'm saying, this is, God forgive me, it's not coming from a place of unforgiveness. So that marriage cannot work. I'm sorry, because it cannot work. I'm not even going to, like, give a justification. Like, I was really hurt. And the fact that a lady, you just got married, and you are looking at someone do that to another woman, and you are comfortable. That was what busted my head. Like, what? And then, she was begging me that I should please, I should not say that. I should not say that. She was begging. He drove me to a hotel. I got a hotel. Before I say we got a hotel, he didn't stay with me, of course. I got a hotel, and then, got me food, whatever. Like, in fact, I think the shoe I wore like an off-white sneakers. Like, it got so dirty, I had to buy like a bathroom slipper. I was leaving Iran straight to my other job, and there was really no time. The following day I left, and it was just like, okay, I'd left. Then there's this brother of mine that is a soldier. So I called him. I told him everything that happened. It was like, He's a younger brother to me. So he was like, Auntie Tolu, someone did this to you. No, 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 no. This is no, no. Because you know, I used to tell him of things that people used to do to me, like can you, and you'll be like, I'll be like, oh, let's leave it, it has gone, it has gone. Like this one, it was like, you cannot even tell me that we are not going to fight this to the very end. Like he said, we will sue them. So apparently he asked for the bride's number. I gave him the bride's number. So the bride then messaged me, was like, Tolu, please send your account details for your balance, blah 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 blah. Balance, she removed 5k from the balance just because I can't even remember one thing that she said, blah 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 blah. She removed 5k. I did not say anything. I said, okay, just send me the remaining. I think she was supposed to pay me 70k then. So at the end of the day, she paid maybe 75, or she was supposed to pay 75, she paid 70k. Called me and she was raking on the phone like, was I not the one that first slapped our father-in-law? I said, me, I touched your father-in-law. Okay, like, see, I don't even have strength to talk anything with you, because by the time I even got to Ibadan, I had lost my voice. I didn't have appetite to eat. I was not able to sleep. I was literally traumatized for days. Like, I was traumatized. Like, I was like, see, I can't talk. I don't want to talk to you. Forget about it. Whether I was the one that hit your father-in-law first, or I was not, we will see in court now. Hey, forget about that now. Soldiers will come and carry you in your in-laws house. They'll come and carry you now. So he sent some of his colleagues to the house we did the makeup. So I think they didn't get to see anybody, but they left a message with the security guy. They now started calling me, all the groom's family that they were doing pram. They now started calling, like, oh my god, like my phone was, sometimes I would just switch off my phone, and any number that I didn't have saved, I would not pick up, because it was now they would now call begging me, blah blah blah, that can't I see that is the work of the devil, that how will a normal, like a situation like that become something that serious, blah 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 blah, that I should please, that I should that the bride had gotten married, and she cannot even enjoy what's it called, our honeymoon, blah blah blah. I said, myself, I'm not enjoying my own self, because I was having, like, my ribs were paining me. If I laughed or if I pee, like, there was just this pressure on my right side. I had to go to the hospital. They did the x-ray or whatever, and they were like, oh, like, it's just, I had to even tell the doctor, and the doctor is like our family doctor. I had to tell her, like, please, I don't want this to get out of here, because the doctors were also my in-laws doctors. Like, I didn't even want them to know. And that it was because I was really embarrassed, more than anything. Like, I was really embarrassed about the whole situation. So, you know, and she just told me, oh, that there is nothing, I'm fine, that I just needed to, you know, she prescribed drugs. After this, I now started having this, like, my I now started softening, like, well, let me just let it go, let me just let it go. Like, even when I told that my brother that, oh, I'm going to just let it go, and, you know, just hope that I never run into this kind of human being again. And to think that before I went for that makeup job, my husband begged me, like, I should not go, that he will give me the money back. I said no, that I will do the job, because, you know, when you are passionate about what you do, it's really not about, sometimes it's not about the money, it's about the fact that, oh yeah, I'm working, I'm doing what I love, I'm gonna have something to post, you know. So I was just like, blah blah blah. So after, I just told the girl, like, don't worry about it, like, I won't pursue this. She now sent me messages on on WhatsApp, like, I think apologizing, asking. I didn't even reply to her. Like, at the end of the day, like, we just stopped talking, and that was how that went. And this story kind of reminds me of one other thing that happened to me before this one. So I used to stay in a rented apartment when I was in Nigeria, and You know, I got into this apartment, and the day I got there, it was just with myself and my son. The day I got there, it was like a remote part of my area, so it was just developing. And by the time I went there, like, I noticed that the day we were parking in, like, children in the area, they came out looking at washing machine as if it was one big thing. I was driving my own car, like, I didn't know that people were like really looking at us, like, I see this. I was really thin then, so probably they were thinking, I see this small girl. I don't know, but I didn't even know until this particular issue happened. Apparently, the landlord of the house was also living in the house. I did not know. It was later when I entered the house that I got to know that, oh, this is a house that landlord is living. My dear sisters and brothers listening to me, please hear this as a voice from God. If you are in Nigeria, don't ever, even whether you are single or you are married or whatever, don't ever live in a house, rent a house that the landlord is living there, because you will not have peace of mind. Because there's no way you want to take care of that house the way they would like, and it will just be giving you unnecessary pressure. Man would switch off, like, there was four flats in the apartment, 3 bedrooms. This man will switch off the water in my apartment, and water will be running everywhere, even in the compound, except my apartment. Like, I didn't know on time. I just thought, probably the water was having issues. So I called my neighbor, like, please go to your tap right now. Is the water working? Is water rushing? She was like, oh yeah, water is rushing. What happened? I said, there's no water in my apartment. What's happening? She was like, I should call the agent now. Like, I didn't get the house from the landlord, so it's the agent. I will tell whatever happens now. So I called the agent, like, it's like, this landlord is switching off my water. I don't know what I did to him. I don't know what is making him feel like this is okay, or what. Like, someone that I used to greet, like, I will greet, kneel down, say, a very young person, no, not like very young, but like, maybe it was like in his late 30s, max 40. Do you understand? And even his wife, like, his wife looked like a 20-something year. But whenever I saw these people, I would greet them like, good afternoon, ma. We still use ma. Bend again. And I noticed that whenever I greeted this woman, she would not answer me, so I stopped greeting her. Even as I stopped greeting her, I would see her children walking, maybe coming back from school, and I'm driving home. I'll carry them. Because in my head, I'm like, I can't even say that maybe we are fighting or anything. So I can't, because of that. Now, that was how this very day I called the agent and was like, I think something is going on that I am not super sure of, but you will be the best person to to see what exactly is going on. Like, I'm not enjoying my stay in this house. He said he would call him, and then he called him and called me back and was like, that he was swearing that he didn't switch off the water, that the water was probably faulty, or the tap, blah blah blah, that the water had finished. I said, water finished? So, but the people upstairs have water. Me that I'm downstairs, I don't have water. Does that even make sense to you people? Like, if water finishes, the people upstairs should be the first people to feel it. Me, I'm downstairs. Why am I the one feeling it? And every other person has water in their apartment. The man was like, okay, that maybe I should call the landlord himself. So I called him. I was like, blah 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 blah. You don't disrespect me, oh. If you disrespect me, I will give it to you. So as this man came downstairs now, this was how he was talking to me. Shori, atibato ti denule. Like, see, since you got inside this house, very derogatorily. Like, I don't know how to. Very derogatorily. Like, if you're Yoruba, if you're African, you will know that it is very derogatory. Like, Shori, atibato ti denule yi. Since you got inside this house, something like this happened. I said, please, before we go to the water issue, I don't like the way you talk to me. I feel like it's insulting. The way I talk to you is insulting. This is the way I know how to talk. And like, this is the way I know how to talk, and this is the way I will continue to talk to you. As he said that, I was like, oh, okay, since to jẹ́ pé bó ṣe fẹ́ máa bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ nìyẹn. I just gave it back to him, like, okay, since this is how you want to talk to me, then I would give you the pleasure of enjoying the same thing from me. It was just like from one issue to the other, from one issue to the other. I remember there was a day my son had allergies, like it flared up. Like someone that I was talking to right now, I gave him food, and I was talking on the phone with his dad then, and then the next time I looked at him, his face had swollen, his eye, one eye was closing up. Like I was legit scared that day. Like his whole body rashes I said rashes had, you know, covered everything. So I just flew out, carried him, threw him in the car. This man was parked behind me. I went upstairs, knocked on his door. Please, can you come and move your car? I need to get my son to the hospital. He's not feeling fine. Do you know that for 15 minutes I was waiting? This man just stood upstairs in his balcony, just stood there, was looking at us like this. He was looking at us. It was my other neighbor that his own car was very close to the gate and now took us. But after that incident, there was now one other day. He just came to, he was getting inside the compound the same time I got inside the compound. So it was like that. I don't wanted to enter my house. As I wanted to enter, it just jumped in front of me. Hey, you, what happened to this part of the wall outside? I said, what happened to the part of the wall? I took knife, I used it to cut it, and now ate it. That's what happened. So what kind of question is that? What happened to the wall outside? Not even like a place where hand can reach. Like it's like if you climb on a stool, that's how tall the thing was. Why would you be asking me that kind of question? What happened to the wall? I said, I don't know. Please, can you excuse me? I wanted to go. That was how his wife too just came. You, oh, no, blah, 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 blah. I have heard your gist. Have I not heard that your husband ran away from you since you were pregnant with Mo? Have I not heard this? Because he's still sending you small money, Abi. You think you are bigger than all of us. You think like, I was like, where is this coming from? Like, oh gosh. That was how I was just, as she was saying all of that, I was like, look at this one. Like I was just quite like, because in my head I'm like, you know, if something is the truth, you can like debunk it or whatever. Like you can say, what's your own or something like that. I did not even know what to say. I did not even know what to say. She was not like, where's your own house? You'll be doing as if you are bigger than all of us. How? Jesus. Like my movement in that house was take my son to school, go to my studio, because I had a makeup studio then, come back home. I'm in my house. I hardly even let Mo play outside in the compound. The compound was very big, but I hardly even let him play outside in the compound. Like, because I grew up like that. Like my parents, my dad would be coming from work like this. If he sees your leg outside the gate, he will want to kill you that day. So like it was just normal for me. Like, okay, once you get back, stay in your house. Let your house be used to staying in your house. So that was how Mo was. And he had lots of toys. Even when we didn't have lights, I would switch on the gen. Oh yeah, be watching cartoon, we'll have fun, we'll sleep. That was my movement. That was my movement though in my house. And then someone coming at me like, you be doing as if you're bigger than all of us. I was like, I've seen what your problem is. It's low self-esteem. And you cannot blame me for being the way I am. If you had gone to school, that was what I was telling. That was what I was telling. If you had gone to school, you won't be feeling pressured over what? Your car is even finer than mine. The car you are driving is finer than mine. I was driving a Honda that time. I was driving a Honda. They were driving a Toyota that they just bought. Like, your car is literally finer than mine. How am I the one making you feel like? Because I was just trying to like wrap my head around it. Like, okay, if it was material thing. But it was that situation that made me realize that people don't beef you or envy you for material things alone. No. They beef the way you carry yourself, the way people love you, the way people want to be friends with you. People actually envy that. And that's so crazy. Like, it's not maybe you are wearing the most fashionable clothes or you are eating the best food. People beef that you are finer than them. People like it's I'm starting to realize it now, that humans are just humans at the end of the day. Humans are just humans. Because in my head I'm like, you're with your husband. What do you know what I would give for me to have my husband with me? You're with your husband and your kids. I don't have my husband. I've not seen my husband for the past 3 years. You are here saying I'm making you feel like a small person. Aren't you just a small person in your mind? I said you are an illiterate. If you were not an illiterate, you would not be saying all of that, like blah blah blah. I just walked out, and then I was entering my neighbor's house, whose house was just like right beside me. As I was about to close my neighbor's door, this man pushed me, and Momori was standing behind me, because Momori was in my neighbor's house, and you know, they didn't even know what was happening. This man pushed me, pushed Momori, we all fell. And then my neighbor, a woman, she just stood up like, what happened? Blah blah blah. Do you know, do so much, like my phone screen cracked. It was a terrible experience. So it was a terrible experience. And from everything that happened, like what gave them the right, or what made them think it was okay, was because, oh, like I was living alone with Mo. So if this one did not collect pregnancy out of wedlock, that means she probably lives far away from family, because like my siblings are everywhere. People outside Nigeria, people outside Ibadan, so everybody is scattered. Like people hardly visited me then, so it was just like myself and Mo. I feel like that was what gave them the confidence to actually do that kind of thing, because the man kept saying, who are you, who do you have, Taloni, who do you have in this Ibadan, blah 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 blah. You know, everything happened. My neighbor that was trying to separate us, like she got injured. She got injured. Her elbow was bloodied. It was crazy. And then the most annoying part of this was that this fight happened in front of my then 5-year-old or 6-year-old. Like that kind of thing, you cannot, it's traumatizing. Even for me as an adult, like it's traumatizing. But for that kind of thing to happen in front of a child, you know, it was just, I wish my son was not there when it happened. I wish my son was not there. Like it was just crazy. Do you know that the following day, like this man, I was going out, like, you know, everybody don't fight, we don't abuse ourselves now, like life goes back to normal. As I stepped out of my house like this woman started shouting again. See how she looks, like someone that has HIV. I was like, see yourself. Is this it? I still answered her. I was like, is this how normal people call it? It's HIV. Talk like illiterate. Talk like someone that is educated. Like, why do you talk? You know, it was just crazy. After that, you know, it was so bad for me. Like when I got inside my house, as much as I was doing blah blah blah, I cried. I cried myself to sleep for days. I was traumatized. I could not eat. And me, like any time anything happens to me, like my sleep, my appetite's gone. Like I could not eat. It was just terrible. So I called my dad. I told him, of course, African, my dad, anything that happens and it's Tolu is at fault. He doesn't even want to hear anything, because and I feel like the narrative has to change. The fact that I'm expressive, the fact that I talk when things, like I can express myself. You can bring up a new topic right now that you're telling me about, and I will ask you questions and I will talk, because as I'm witty, like my husband would say, like I can think on the spot and express myself. Expressing myself is never an issue. It's if I just decide not to talk in that situation. So because I talk does not mean that whenever anything happens in a relationship, I'm at fault. And you know, immediately he just said it, I just hung up. Do you know that period I was praying to God, God, please let me just sleep and not wake up again. I'd gotten, oh my God, why is it that is this one that is making me feel like crying? I had gotten to that point where everything was just tired. I was just tired. I was done. I was praying to God for visa to come out, for Canada to answer us. Nothing was working, and this was happening. I was literally just trying to manage myself to make myself happy, and then I was having issues like this. Like it was crazy. I prayed to God, God, please let me sleep and not just wake up. I can't commit suicide because it's gonna be painful. I don't want to feel pain. But I had gotten to that point, and then I told my mom's younger sister, and she came to the house. This woman, if not for anything in this life, like I'll always be grateful to God for her. She came to the house. If you are hearing she spoiled grand, oh, one ballet, like she was angry, maybe because she is a single mother, and she said she herself she has had a fair share of experiences like that. When people see single mothers, the first thing that comes to their head is to take advantage of them, is to take advantage of the situation. Like I've had a security man that I was paying his salary tell me that he was going to beat me. She be me, I don't have husband in the house. Said it plain blank. Said it. Do you understand? Like I mean, like I can't even imagine. That is me that, oh, I know that I have a husband. Yeah, we are not just living together because of the situation right now. Now imagine someone who is actually a single parent. Like I cannot imagine the things they go through. I cannot imagine the things they go through. Anyway, I digress. That my auntie came. She came to the house, had a meeting with him, and the first thing that stupid landlord said was, Sheromode, like, see this little girl, she doesn't have respect. That was the first thing this man said. Immediately he said that, my auntie was like, why would you talk to her like that? Do you know her age? Why do you assume that you are older than her? Someone that is in her husband's house, you are saying Sheromode, koni respect. My sister, my auntie was like, there is nothing you want to say again that wants to make sense to me, because you cannot talk to someone you don't know like this. What gives you the right to talk to her this way? And then they were just saying a lot of rubbish and rubbish. That was how my dad just called me. Hello, I'm in front of your gate. I knew that, yes, the drama. You think I have drama? You think I speak English? Come and hear my daddy when he's angry. God. My dad came, entered the man's house. This was how my dad is big, just like my father, my husband. He's big and very tall. Like, he just sat down like this. I heard in English show, because when he's angry, he speaks English. I heard a certain landlord harassed and assaulted my daughter. The man was literally shaking on his seat like this, because in his mind, Tolu, this woman does not have anybody. I heard a certain landlord assaulted my daughter and was telling her she doesn't have anybody in Ibadan. Did she drop from heaven? Is it not someone that gave birth to her? Why would you assume that she doesn't have anybody? In this Ibadan, you don't know Moto, you don't know Akinwale, and I'm the owner of Ibadan. Like, my dad was angry, was just like, I just came to give him. He did not even know who the landlord was, because apparently he had called his own elder brother as well. I just came to give him the strictest warning that if this should happen again, it will not end lightly. And he laughed like that. Was like, when I was coming here, I knew what to do. I wanted to come with soldiers so that he will first sleep behind bars. But you know, I'm getting old. I don't want this kind of drama. I don't want this kind of drama. That is why I just came by myself. If you don't know me, I'm a troublesome person. No, don't ever talk to my daughter or assault her again. Blah 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 blah. And he stood up and left. Nobody could say Pem. Even the landlord that was arguing with my aunt, he could not do Pem like this. When I got inside the house, when we now got inside my own apartment, my dad was like, hey, Tolu, you too, why is it that He did not even finish it. My aunt was like, why is it that what? No, 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 you've done something good. Don't come and spoil it here. Don't come and spoil it. Let everybody just jollificate and be fine. And you know, because of that, all my brothers, I have three brothers. So two of them came to my house. My cousins, like that period, like everybody was just around me. Like everybody was just around me. So that my sister that was living in Ekiti came down to Ibadan just to come and spend some days. So that why would you think that someone lives alone? That means they don't have people around them. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible experience. Come to the end of our story time, or our gist, or our chit chat. And this is the end, or this is the finished look of the makeup. If you like it, let me know in the comments section down below. I kind of just packed this my terrible waist, my terrible waist style up here, and I think it's looking less terrible-ish, so that's big ups. So yeah, if you enjoyed this story time, please don't hesitate to leave comments down below. Tell me one or two experiences you've had, and if you would like to hear more of crazy stories that have happened to me, even here in Canada. Like, I've met people and I'm like, oh wow, you weird, man. Like, crazy things have happened, yeah. And if you like more story times like this, let me know down in the comment section. If you like our makeup as well, let me know what you like most about it. So bye guys, catch you next time on the vlog. Mwah!